Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today I decided to do a Divine Masculine check-in and do a little bit different format, so we're gonna see what has been happening with Divine Masculines in their life in their 3D space recently, where they are now with the energies, and what is the expected outcome. What are they learning? What should be expected in the nearest future. I'm sure it will be useful to Divine Masculines watch and of course to Divine Feminines cross watchers to understand better what's going on with your twin flame, or what to look out for in the nearest time. To begin with, I will pull a card from the Oracle deck, and today is going to be the Enchanted Map. Haven't used it for a while, so let's see what's going to happen. I will actually draw a card for Divine Feminines first. This will be a little wink to the Divine Feminines watching, and then we'll move on and stay solely with DMs. Okay, welcome to my channel. Whether you're new or you're coming back, I'm excited to see you guys. I'm excited about this reading, so let's get started. And as I'm saying it, I'm moving my table and the after tarot keeps sliding. So I'll use the after tarot for the outcome, for what's going to be happening as a result. What is this leading towards, right? Why are these events important? We're going to see. But the main reading I'm going to do with the Spellcaster Tarot. Okay, remember this is a general reading. I'm going to start shuffling for the Divine Feminine card first. So take only what resonates for you, for your story, and leave what doesn't. And if you're interested in a personal reading or a coaching session, do not hesitate to reach out to an email address. Also, you can check out my website, mindfulbamboo.com. It has blog articles, it has some meditations that are for sale. It has extra contact information about my social media pages, where you can, if you're more interested in my own journey, what's happened in my life, you can follow those. And also don't forget that I have a separate channel, it's called Mindful Bamboo. There's a reference in the description box and in featured channels, so you can check that out. I usually post tarot readings by zodiac sign over there for the monthlies. Sometimes I do special events as well. I think I might do the new moon that's coming up in about 10 days from now. I might do the just like, for each sign, what is it signifying, what are we moving into. This week we have an interesting one with Chiron going retrograde. I think it's July 19th. I will do a special edition reading for that, of course. If you remember, Chiron is an asteroid, and the Chiron position in our natal chart is helping us see what kind of wounds we are supposed to heal in this lifetime. And it's also called the wounded healer. So it's that aspect of it where as light workers we are, and it's not like there is no exception here. We're all getting wounds that we're supposed to heal and become experts in those areas, so we can help with the healing. You help other people with healing once we figure out how to do that. And as with all the planetary positions, it's important what house it's in, what planet it's in, zodiac signs, all of that stuff. I might speak a little bit more about it in that reading so that you have a little more information. But in any case, you can look up your Chiron with your natal chart information. I don't think there is any that doesn't present you with Chiron. Like even if you go to Astro Cafe, or you can just look up like, what is my Chiron sign? Google it, and they will show you how to find out with the date and time of birth. So Divine Feminines, you have the Balancing Act, number 11. Haha. The Balancing Act, the good old balancing, right? We were just talking about it yesterday. This is a kind reminder to you that this is still in progress. So if you felt like you've already put an effort to stay in balance, to look after yourself, to be on top of everything in your life, not to have any burdens or loose ends or conflicts or whatever, right? To kind of keep everything in the peaceful harmony. Stick with it. It might have taken effort, but if you're doing it right, if you're not just forcing these situations, but you're actually transmuting negativity, if you're ascending, if you're clearing energy, this is going to get easier and easier. but it's important to stick with this high vibe, balanced energy right now. Just keep space for the good stuff that's coming in. What do we have for divine masculines at this time? 2 cards, number 45 and 16. Said embrace and rescue. Oh, wow. Yeah, so divine masculines look like it's an interesting premise for our reading today. They look like they need some rescue. And look at that, there's full moon in this card. So there's definitely the aftertaste of that super moon that we had a few days ago, moon in Capricorn, where a lot of stuff came to the surface, a lot of painful stuff, maybe a reminder of past painful experiences for some. For others, it's more about realization where they are right now. And maybe they thought they were in a much happier place, so they were supposed to be content with everything that, that was going on in their life. But they realized that it's not as great as it sounds. So it may seem great on the surface, but there's a lot of but in that statement. Or there's still a lot to achieve to get to that true space of joy and happiness, right? Some of them realize that they're sad if that does not include divine feminines in their life, at least in some shape or form. Not all of them are ready with full-time commitment at this time, but it is important for them to know and to have confidence that you are going to stay in their life. You're going to be part of that journey. If it's not, if you are not, or they don't know if you will be around, this brings that sadness. This is them realizing it, that it makes them sad. The fact that you may not be around, or even if they feel like they have something to be proud of, if you're not around for them to share those news with you, it's still a sad moment, and they realize it now. Like, the person I want to talk to about it is my DF. If she's not around, maybe you're in separation, maybe you just haven't been in contact for a while, and they're like, I'm not sure that that's the first sentence that I want to message or tell them when I give them a call, right? After this much time, after everything that happened recently, right? So there is a bit of that rescue energy that they're sending out, that signal, like bad signal, asking for the rescue and turning into higher power as well for some of that advice, right? Which way do I go? What is the right step right now to make this work, to get out of the rut, whatever they feel like they are right now. Yeah, let's get to tarot. Let's see what's going on. Let's start with the recent past. So what has happened in the recent past that led to the current energies for divine masculines? What happened in their life in the recent past? Have a star, Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. And what is currently happening in their energies? What is currently happening? What do you need to know? It's happening in their lives in 3D. Yeah, we're focusing on 3D today, by the way. What's happening in their life? 5 of Cups, that's sadness energy, yep. King of Cups, Ace of Swords, the truth, yeah. Okay, so that matches everything that we've talked about. Look at that for once in the bottom of the deck. So there's definitely there is a feeling of this strong bond in 5D space. And that's for a lot of DMs, that's why the sadness comes in 3D. Because of this contrast, because of this mismatch, because of how great the things are with the energetic union in 5D. And then there is a vast contrast of how things are in 3D, where it's not the case. And it seems like that picture, that feeling, that energy, right, is a million miles away right now. What do we have? Let's look at the after tarot. What's the expected outcome from this? What are DMs? Where are DMs going into? What are they learning? What's gonna be happening in the nearest future for them? Where is this journey leading them to? What can we know? Okay, we have 10 of Swords in reverse, 6 of Cups, and 7 of Swords. Gotcha. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords. Yeah, so there will be some battles for the truth. That's what I'm getting here. there will be times where divine masculines will really be asked to take action. It's one of those cases where you can't be silent anymore. You can't just stay quiet and, mind your own business. Or, like some people have trouble picking sides. And they're like, no, I'm going to stay neutral. I don't want to pick any sides. They won't be able to do that anymore in the nearest future. They'll have to be clear about where their loyalties stand, where their values are. For a lot of them, this will be a challenge with the karmic situation. Could be with a partner, could be with a job, with some sort of friends or family entanglement that they have. Could be about other attachments, could be addictions, right? So there will be some point where they will have to choose. Do I stay on this path and then they can see where that is leading them? Or I'm making change and I cannot live like that anymore because I want more of this life. I want to have this sacred love. I want to, realize my potential in this lifetime. I want to be myself. I want to see what I'm capable of from a good side, from a kind and loving point of view. Okay, so recent past. We have the Star, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So there was some sort of a dream that the masculines have heavily invested into. A lot of them with money. It could also be time. It could be like actual energy. Like, when you're building a house yourself, you're investing a lot of your physical energy. Apart from like buying materials, there's also actual work that's going into it, right? So there was some sort of a project. It could be a relationship with a karmic partner. It could be a new job, or starting a new business. What else can be like building a house? Like an actual like a project, right? Whatever it was, they had a lot of hopes connected with it, and they've put in a lot of work. Like it was very special to them. They've invested so much. But that's like the additional info for you for where they are now. So they've invested it, they had a lot of hopes, it didn't pan out like that. So what do they see now? There is an energy of disappointment. There is an energy of unexpressed emotions with King of Cups. And there is a moment of truth, especially with the supermoon. With the eclipse season, it started with the eclipse season, things are starting to come into the surface. That's what I'm getting. So that's like, between April and May. May basically. But this supermoon is kind of pushing it, like I was saying, because Capricorn is so grounded and it's helping us kind of anchor the energy into the physical. It's now coming up in the physical, in certain situations in their physical life, where they see the truth and they see that it's disappointment. It didn't pan out as they expected it to be, right? They're starting to see why, and they see that a lot of it had to do with, like no matter what it was, it's clearly a karmic situation that we see here expand and develop. There's always something that like is dissociated or is disintegrated energy, right? So it could be that whoever else was involved in it with them has very different values, and they can see now that they were trying to pretend like it didn't matter at the time, but now they see that it matters the most. Even if it's about emotions, it's about attitudes, at the end of the day, it matters the most. And that's the main reason why it didn't work out. The dream didn't work out. How devastating can that be? And although they've learned a lot, it was a valuable experience. This is the moment where it was the Five of Cups, where they see the glass half empty, where they're trying to to collect the pieces of what's left, but they're still disappointed. If it was, for example, building a house, maybe they realized that, they invested maybe in cheaper labor, or they went for a bargain, but they got fooled, something like that, right? again, somewhere where they wanted to take a shortcut, or they wanted to, they thought that maybe some of the decisions didn't matter too much, or they delegated them to someone else who didn't really care about the project anyway. And it didn't happen. And now they have either to start from scratch or redo it, or have to deal with the result that it's not, what they want it to be. And although they keep telling themselves that it's all, part of the process, it's part of life, at the moment there's a lot of that sad energy where, after you've been putting a lot of effort into something and you see that not working out as expected, you have that, oftentimes we have that emotion of helplessness, or at least exhaustion. You're like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. It's like I have to start again, or I have to keep going, or I have to try with someone else or in a different way, but I don't know if I can anymore. This has been a lot. It's that sort of energy. For the future, we have Ten of Swords in reverse, Six of Cups, and Seven of Swords. Yeah, so what is this giving them? This is helping them deal with a lot of pain and understand where they've been fooling themselves, so they've been running away from their true destiny, right? They were dragging their heels, to stay away from what is true, what is kind, what is loving. They were told by the authority figures, by close friends, by mentors, whatever, by those who are like, have seen things, have seen life, how things should be. Or like, yeah, it's always been like that, you can't do anything about it. Those kind of ideas. And now they see that that was a lot of BS. That was part of the programming that they've received in this lifetime, that they now need to heal. So this will be the ultimate lesson. This will be the outcome. Coming back to the sincere, authentic self. Coming back to, it's like going back to the whiteboard to see what is important, right? That you cannot fool the energy, really, right? But this revelation, this knowledge is actually going to help them heal a lot of painful stuff from the past, because they will be appreciating the lesson. They will be appreciating that they, for example, that they've spent, I don't know, $50,000 instead of $2 million they could have spent. Or they spent 2 years of their life on this, but they could have spent 10 and only figure out how bad it was, like when, it would be really hard to come back from it, right? So there's always this, and now they're like, okay, and now because I have that experience, my house is gonna be even 10 times better than I imagined, or my new relationship with a different partner is gonna be so much more loving, kind, and authentic, with equal give and take than I could have done before. Because a lot of times, for example, if that pattern that we saw was codependent relationship, for example, it takes two to tango in this case, right? So it means that in Divine Masculine's life, in their energy, in their psyche, there was codependent energy. And now remember, I mentioned addictions as well. And now they will be able to stand up against that and say, no, I want the real thing. I don't want to be controlled by somebody else and go through all the drama, and I don't want to do that to another person, right? So whatever that project was, or that karmic situation they were going through, there will be the new place where they don't necessarily, again, they're not necessarily just suddenly they get it and it's all brilliant and they leave their karmic partner and they choose the DF. Not necessarily, no, but it's an important understanding of where true value is. And I'm getting that quite a few of them will try to, they won't necessarily abandon that project or that situation and start anew somewhere else. No, they will try to make something out of it. They will try to transform it into something healthier, better, like more joyful, more content. But whether it's gonna work or not, that remains to be seen. That we don't know yet. But I mean, The beneficial part is that they see that they cannot just leave it as is, that it's not good enough, it's not gonna do. It's not gonna make them happy, it's not gonna fulfill the dream, so it has to change. And we will see as the time goes whether they're able to transform it into something healthy, or they'll realize that it's a lost cause in this particular case. Okay, last but not least, we'll put some messages with these oracle cards from Divine Masculines. Before we go, let's see what Divine Masculines would like to share with Divine Feminines watching. What do they want us to know? Let's see. Woo, too many cards. Let me shuffle again. Okay. I will be going to another trip on Saturday, going to South this time. So there may be a little bit of delays if you contact me for personal services. So better do that before the weekend, like, you know, by Friday. But I still do intend to be here with daily readings. I might record some of them in advance, but at this point, I don't see any reason for interruptions, so we'll see. And I should be able to record them when I'm over there. I'll have less cards, but, you know, decks, but I'm still gonna be available and I'm still gonna be doing these readings for you. And I should be able to record all my readings for August for my other channel before I go. So they should be also available in time before the end of July. Please give me time to heal my past pain. Yep, you can see that's needed. Being with you reminds me of home. Yeah, we can see that with this Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And I feel this huge pull to you and it scares me. So, Divine Feminines listening, stay inspirational. Stay that lighthouse. Somebody who is kind, loving, beautiful, empowered, and who is going for their best life. This will be a great inspiration for your masculine, even if they don't tell you. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.